My wife of 32 years wasn't just sleeping with my daughter's fiancé, she was using my daughter as collateral to steal everything my grandfather built. That's what I told the room of 180 guests at the rehearsal dinner, right before I played the video. But that's not where this starts. 6 months ago, I thought I had everything. I'm James Parker, 58 years old, third generation owner of Parker Construction Company. My grandfather broke ground in 1964 with nothing but a pickup truck and a handshake. My father expanded us across Tennessee. And me, I was supposed to protect it, pass it on to the fourth generation. I had the perfect life, or so I thought. Every morning I walk into my office and touch the brass plaque on the wall. It's a ritual, has been for 20 years. The plaque sits right next to my grandfather's photo. Black and white, 1962, him holding a shovel with those calloused hands and determined eyes that built everything I know. The plaque is cool under my fingers, solid, real. It says, Parker Construction Company, founded 1964, built on integrity. Built on integrity? I used to believe that, every single word. The office smells like old wood and machine oil. Blueprints cover every wall. We've built hospitals, schools, community centers. We employ 147 people, good people, people who trusted us to take care of their families. That morning, the morning everything started to crack, I touched that plaque like always. Then I sat down at my desk and looked at the quarterly report Rebecca had prepared. My wife, our CFO, the woman I'd loved since high school. The numbers looked good, great actually, but something felt off. I can't explain it, just a feeling in my gut. Like when you walk into a room and know someone was just talking about you. Rebecca walked in carrying 2 cups of coffee. She still did that. After 32 years, she still brought me coffee every morning at 8:15. Black, no sugar. She knew exactly how I liked it. "Morning, honey," she said, setting the cup on my desk. She wore her navy business suit, hair pulled back. Professional, put together. "You're staring at that report like it insulted your mother." I forced a smile, just double-checking some numbers. "Everything's fine, James." She leaned down, kissed my cheek. Her perfume, something expensive floral, wrapped around me. Trust me. Trust me." I nodded, took a sip of coffee. "I know, just being thorough." "That's why I love you." She squeezed my shoulder. "Board meeting at 10. Ryan's presentation on the new project timeline." Ryan Thompson, our new VP of Operations, hired 9 months ago. Young guy, 33, sharp, ambitious. Impressive resume. Previous experience with 2 major firms in Atlanta, Harvard MBA. Rebecca had championed his hiring, said he was exactly what we needed to modernize our operations. The board agreed. Hell, I agreed. The guy was good, really good. "Right," I said, "Ryan's presentation." Rebecca smiled, left my office. I watched her go, then looked back at the report. Something was off, I just couldn't see it yet. The board meeting started at 10 sharp. Conference room on the 2nd floor. 8 of us around the table. Frank Miller sat to my left, our longest-serving foreman, been with us 30 years. Promoted to operations manager 5 years ago. If anyone knew this company's bones, it was Frank. Ryan stood at the head of the table, confident, polished. He clicked through his presentation, charts, timelines, cost projections. "The Jefferson Medical Center project is tracking 2 weeks ahead of schedule," Ryan said, his voice smooth. "Practiced. We've implemented the new workflow systems and efficiency is up 17%. The board nodded, impressed. I watched Rebecca. She sat across from me, taking notes. Professional, attentive. Every few slides, she'd glance at Ryan and smile. Encouraging, supportive, just doing her job. That's what I told myself. Frank leaned over, whispered, "Kid knows his stuff." "Yeah," I said. "He does." Ryan finished his presentation. Everyone clapped. Rebecca stood, walked to the front of the room. "Before we adjourn," she said, "I want to remind everyone, next month is our 60th anniversary, 6 decades of building this community." She looked at the photo of my grandfather on the wall, built on trust, built on family. She met my eyes, smiled. I smiled back. Later that week, Olivia came home for dinner. My daughter, 30 years old, project manager at the company, worked her way up from intern to management. I didn't give her anything she didn't earn. She's smart, tougher than me, has her mother's drive and her grandfather's stubbornness. She walked into our house, the same house where she grew up, white colonial in the suburbs, big oak tree in the front yard, with Ryan beside her. They'd been dating for 6 months, met at a company barbecue, office romance. Rebecca thought it was adorable. "Dad!" Olivia hugged me tight. She smelled like the same strawberry shampoo she'd used since high school. "We have news." Ryan stepped forward, shook my hand, firm grip, confident. "Mr. Parker, sir." "James," I said. "How many times do I have to tell you? Call me James." "James," he grinned, put his arm around Olivia's waist. "I asked Olivia to marry me. She said yes." For a moment I couldn't breathe. My little girl, getting married. I pulled her into another hug. "Congratulations, sweetheart. I'm so happy for you." And I was. God, I was. She was glowing, radiant, her whole face lit up like she'd swallowed the sun. Rebecca appeared from the kitchen, already knew, of course she knew, Olivia had probably called her first, and she was crying happy tears. She hugged Olivia, then Ryan, then me. "Our baby's getting married," Rebecca whispered in my ear. We had dinner, celebrated, opened champagne. Rebecca toasted to new beginnings and eternal love. Ryan told the story of how he proposed. Sunset at Radnor Lake, down on one knee, the whole romantic setup. Olivia kept touching the ring, 2-carat diamond, platinum band, beautiful. "It's perfect," she said, eyes shining. "Everything's perfect." I looked across the table. Olivia and Ryan were holding hands. Rebecca was smiling, wiping her eyes. Ryan caught my gaze, raised his glass. I raised mine back. As I hugged Olivia goodnight, I pulled out my wallet. Inside, laminated and worn at the edges, was a piece of construction paper, crayon drawing, 4 stick figures holding hands, mommy, daddy, me, and our house. Hearts colored red everywhere. Signed Olivia Parker, age 7, in messy child handwriting. I'd carried it for 23 years. "My perfect family," the title said at the top. I looked at it for a long moment, then tucked it back in my wallet. That night, as Rebecca and I got ready for bed, I saw it, just for a second. She was texting someone, smiling at her phone. When I walked into the bedroom, she quickly locked the screen, set it face down on the nightstand. "Who was that?" I asked, casual, light. "Oh, just Olivia. She's so excited." Rebecca smiled. "Can you believe our baby's getting married?" "No," I said honestly. "I can't." But something in my chest tightened. If you've ever ignored a gut feeling you wish you'd listened to, you know what's coming. The weeks after the engagement blurred together. Wedding planning consumed everything. Rebecca and Olivia spent every evening looking at venues, florists, caterers. Ryan was at our house constantly, dinners, planning sessions. Family time, Rebecca called it. I threw myself into work, tried to ignore the knot in my stomach that wouldn't go away. The financial discrepancies kept appearing. Small things, a vendor invoice that didn't match the contract, a payment to a subcontractor I didn't recognize, numbers that were off by hundreds here, thousands there. Every time I asked Rebecca about it, she had an explanation, a reasonable answer. "That's the new accounting software, honey, still working out the kinks." "That vendor is Ryan's contact from Atlanta, better rates." "You're stressed. Wedding planning on top of work. Let me handle the numbers. That's my job, remember?" And I let her, because she was my wife, because I trusted her, because I was a fool. 3 months after the engagement, I stayed late at the office. Couldn't sleep anyway. Something was eating at me. I pulled up the security camera footage. We had cameras in the parking lot, the main entrance, the loading docks, standard stuff. I wasn't looking for anything specific, just looking. I scrolled through the previous week. Employees coming and going, normal routines. Then I saw it, 2:47 a.m. Tuesday night. Rebecca's car pulling into the parking lot. Why would she be at the office at 2 in the morning? The camera angle showed her parking near the back entrance. She got out, stood by her car, checked her phone. Then another car pulled up. I didn't recognize it at first. A man got out. I leaned closer to the screen. Ryan. They stood in the parking lot, talking. Then Rebecca looked around, checking if anyone was watching, and Ryan pulled her close. They kissed. Not a friendly kiss, not a family kiss, a lover's kiss. My hand froze on the mouse. I watched them get into Ryan's car together, watched the car sit there unmoving for 43 minutes. Then they got out, kissed again. Rebecca drove away first. Ryan waited 5 minutes, then left. I sat in the dark office, stared at the frozen frame on the screen. Frank found me an hour later. He'd forgotten his keys, came back to the office. James? He flipped on the light. You okay, man? You look like you've seen a ghost. I couldn't speak. Frank walked over, saw the screen, saw Rebecca and Ryan in that parking lot. Jesus Christ, he whispered. I finally found my voice. How long? How long what? How long have you known? Frank's face went pale. I didn't know. Not for sure. There were rumors. A couple of the guys said they saw them at a hotel bar downtown. But I hoped, show me. James, show me where they saw them. Frank pulled out his phone, searched for something, handed it to me. A photo, blurry, taken from across a restaurant. Rebecca and Ryan at a table, her hand on his, laughing, the date stamp, 6 weeks ago. Who else knows? My voice sounded dead, foreign. Just the two guys who saw them, Mike and Joey from the electrical crew. They didn't tell anyone else, didn't want to. Frank stopped. I'm sorry, James. I should have said something. No. I stood up. You did right. I need to know for sure. What are you going to do? I looked at him. Frank, loyal Frank. Been with us for 30 years. Watched Olivia grow up. Came to her high school graduation. Was at our house every Christmas. I need you to recommend someone, I said. A private investigator. Someone who won't talk. Frank nodded slowly. I know a guy. Former cop. Discreet. Give me his number. That night I went home. Rebecca was already asleep. Or pretending to be. I lay in bed next to the woman I'd loved for 32 years. The woman who'd given me a daughter, who'd built this company beside me. And I wondered how much of my life had been a lie. The private investigator's name was Marcus Chen. Wait, no, can't use that name. The private investigator's name was David Matthews, former Nashville PD detective. Now ran his own firm, specialized in infidelity cases. We met at a coffee shop on the east side, somewhere Rebecca would never go. David was mid-40s, tired eyes, seen too much. Your friend Frank says you need help, he said, stirring his coffee. I slid a folder across the table, the parking lot photo, the restaurant photo, Rebecca's schedule, Ryan's schedule. I need to know, I said, everything. David looked through the folder, didn't react, professional. This is your wife? Yes. And this man works for you. He's my daughter's fiancé. David's eyes flicked up. Jesus. Can you help me or not? I can help you. He closed the folder. But Mr. Parker, James, once I start looking, I can't unsee what I find. And neither can you. Are you sure you want to know? I thought about Olivia, her smile at the engagement dinner, the ring on her finger, her perfect family. I'm sure, I said. David nodded. 2 weeks. If there's something to find, I'll find it. There was. 14 days later, David called me, asked me to come to his office. The office was small, above a pawn shop, smelled like stale cigarette smoke, even though he probably hadn't smoked in years. He handed me a USB drive. I'm sorry, he said. I stared at the small black drive. What's on it? 3 different hotels, 3 different dates, all within the last 2 months. David's voice was gentle, pitying. The footage is clear, James. No room for interpretation. My hand shook, taking the drive. There's more, David said. More? She's using your hotel loyalty points, the Marriott. You have elite status. She's been booking suites under your account. Probably figured you wouldn't notice. I laughed. It came out bitter, broken. Do you want to watch it? David asked. Or do you want me to tell you? No, I stood. I'll watch it. Alone. I went to my truck, sat in the parking lot, opened my laptop, plugged in the drive. The first video file was dated 6 weeks ago, the Marriott downtown. Security camera footage from the hallway, timestamp 9:47 p.m. Rebecca stepped off the elevator, wearing a dress I'd never seen before. She walked to room 847, knocked. Ryan opened the door, pulled her inside. The camera couldn't see inside the room, but they didn't leave until 1:23 a.m. I watched the second video. Different hotel, same scene. The third video, another hotel. Each time, Rebecca's car in the parking lot, Ryan's car 3 spaces away. Each time, hours passing. Each time, them leaving separately. I sat in that truck and watched my wife of 32 years betray everything we built. 3 times, 3 different hotels, 3 different lies. When the videos ended, I closed the laptop. I couldn't cry, couldn't scream, couldn't move. I just sat there, numb. My phone buzzed. Text from Rebecca. Working late tonight. Don't wait up. Love you. I stared at the heart emoji. Then I drove home. Rebecca wasn't there. Of course she wasn't. I searched the house, started in our bedroom, checked her nightstand, her dresser, her closet. Nothing. Then I remembered. Her car. Sometimes she kept things in her car. I went to the garage, used the spare key to unlock her Mercedes. The glove box was locked. She'd installed a small lock on it 6 months ago, said she kept important documents there. I broke it open with a screwdriver. Inside, a phone. Not her regular iPhone, a cheap burner, Android. I turned it on, no password, 47 text messages, all to one contact. R. I scrolled through them, my hands shaking so hard I could barely hold the phone. Can't wait to see you tonight. James is working late. We have time. Told him I was meeting Olivia. He believed me. This is so much easier than I thought it would be. I kept scrolling, further back. 8 months ago, before Olivia and Ryan were even dating. He's perfect, exactly what we need. The timeline is working. She's falling for him. By the time they're married, we'll have everything in place. My vision blurred. The words swam on the screen. Then I saw it. The message that made my blood stop. Sent 2 weeks ago, from Rebecca to R. Phase 2 in motion. She trusts him completely now. After the wedding, we're free. Phase 2. I sat in Rebecca's car, holding her second phone, reading her betrayal in plain text. This wasn't just an affair. This was something bigger. What the hell was phase 1, phase 2? The words haunted me. I sat in my home office that night, Rebecca still out, supposedly at a vendor meeting, and stared at that burner phone. Phase 2 meant there was a phase 1, a beginning, a plan. How far back did this go? I couldn't tell Olivia. Not yet. Not without knowing everything. If I destroyed her engagement, her life, her trust in her own mother, I needed to be absolutely certain. I needed proof that even Rebecca couldn't explain away. I called Frank at 6 in the morning. I need your help, I said, and I need you to keep your mouth shut. What do you need? Access to the financial system, the real numbers, not the reports Rebecca gives the board. Silence on the other end. Frank? You think she's stealing from the company? It wasn't a question. I think this is bigger than an affair, I said. Meet me at the office, 5 a.m. tomorrow, before anyone else gets there. The next morning, Frank and I sat in the accounting office. He pulled up the raw financial data, the stuff Rebecca compiled before presenting it to the board. What are we looking for? Frank asked. I don't know. Anything that doesn't fit. We started with vendor payments, compared invoices to actual contracts, cross-referenced dates and amounts. At first, nothing stood out. Small discrepancies, rounding errors, normal stuff. Then Frank stopped scrolling. James. What? He pointed at the screen. This vendor, Mountain Ridge Supplies. We don't have a contract with them. Maybe it's new. Look at the payment history. 12 payments, $30,000 each time, every month for the last year. $360,000. Pull up the invoices, I said. Frank clicked through the files. The invoices looked legitimate. Professional letterhead, itemized lists of materials, all signed off by Rebecca. Call them, I said. What? Call the company. The number's on the invoice. Frank dialed, put it on speaker. The phone rang and rang. Then, the number you have reached is not in service. We looked at each other. Check the business registry, I said. Frank pulled up the Tennessee Secretary of State database, searched for Mountain Ridge Supplies. There's a company with that name, he said slowly, registered 18 months ago. Who's the owner? Frank clicked through. His face went white. Rebecca Ann Parker. My wife had created a fake company, paid herself $30,000 a month for a year from our business, from my family's company. Jesus Christ, Frank whispered. James, this isn't an affair. This is a heist. I stood up, paced. My hands were shaking. What else? I said. Keep looking. We found more. Another shell company, Premier Consulting Group. Same pattern, smaller payments, $20,000 every 6 weeks. Owner, Rebecca Ann Parker. Then another. Efficiency Solutions, LLC. This one was registered to a business address in the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands? Frank said. Why would... Offshore account. My voice sounded dead. She's hiding money offshore. Frank kept digging, found the bank statements Rebecca had hidden in an encrypted folder. The password was Olivia 2026, our daughter's name, and the year of her wedding. She'd used our daughter's name to protect her theft. The Cayman account had $340,000 in it. This is felony embezzlement, Frank said. James, you need to call the police. Not yet. I stared at those numbers. If she's stealing this much, there has to be more. I need to know everything before I move. What about Olivia? I closed my eyes, saw my daughter's face, her happiness, her trust. I can't tell her, not until I understand what we're dealing with. Frank nodded. What do you need from me? Everything you can find, every payment, every file. I want a complete picture. You got it. That evening, Ryan came over for dinner. Wedding planning. He sat at my table, ate my food, smiled at my daughter. I watched him, really watched him. He was good, confident, charming. He told stories about work, made Olivia laugh, called me Dad now instead of Mr. Parker. Dad, Ryan had this idea, Olivia said, her eyes bright. What if we use Parker Construction to build the arch for the ceremony, like a symbolic thing, the company that built our family building our future? Ryan squeezed her hand. Only if you're comfortable with it, James. I know you're already doing so much. I forced a smile. Of course. I'd be honored. After dinner, Ryan went to the bathroom, left his laptop on the kitchen counter. Olivia was in the other room with Rebecca, looking at flower arrangements. I shouldn't have, but I did. I opened Ryan's laptop. It wasn't locked. He trusted us. Why wouldn't he? His desktop was organized, professional, folders labeled by project. One folder, New Venture, Confidential. I clicked it. Inside, copies of Parker Construction contracts, client lists, bid proposals, proprietary information, our entire business strategy for the next 2 years, every major project we'd won in the last 12 months, every client relationship we'd built, all copied, all stolen, ready to go to someone else. I heard the bathroom door open, closed the laptop, stepped away. Ryan walked back into the kitchen. Everything okay, Dad? Fine, I said. Just checking my email. He smiled, picked up his laptop, went back to Olivia. I stood there in my own kitchen, watching my daughter's fiancé steal my life's work. The next day I hired an attorney, not our regular corporate lawyer, someone new, someone Rebecca didn't know, Sarah Bennett, criminal defense attorney, specialized in white-collar crime. We met at her office downtown, modern, expensive, the kind of place that billed $500 an hour. I showed her everything, the fake companies, the offshore account, the text messages, the hotel videos. Sarah listened without interrupting, made notes on a yellow legal pad. When I finished, she set down her pen. Mr. Parker, James. James, you're not just dealing with infidelity, you're looking at systematic embezzlement, corporate espionage, and fraud. She pulled out a calculator. Based on what you've shown me, your wife has stolen approximately $400,000 from your company. That's a Class B felony in Tennessee, 5 to 12 years. What about Ryan? The stolen files on his laptop, if he's planning to use those for a competing business, that's theft of trade secrets. Federal offense could be 8 to 10 years. I sat back. I need more proof. You have plenty of proof for the embezzlement. I need to know the full plan. Why is he marrying my daughter? What's the end game? Sarah studied me. You think your daughter is part of the plan? I know she is. I just don't know how. What do you need from me? I need a forensic accountant, someone who can trace every dollar, and I need to know my legal options, all of them. Sarah nodded. I'll make some calls, but James... She leaned forward. The longer you wait to involve law enforcement, the more money they can move, the more evidence they can destroy. I understand, but I'm not moving until I have everything. Your daughter's wedding is in 3 months. I know. You're going to tell her. It wasn't a question. Yes, I said, but not yet. That night, I couldn't sleep. I went to my home office, pulled out an old file box from the closet. Inside, Olivia's school projects, report cards, certificates, memories. At the bottom, an essay, handwritten on lined paper, 5th grade assignment. My hero, I unfolded it, read her 10-year-old handwriting. My hero is my dad. He builds things that help people. He built the hospital where my friend Emma's mom works. He built the school where I learn. He builds with his hands and his heart. My dad says a family business means you take care of your family and your community. That's what heroes do. They build things that last. Below the text, a drawing. Stick figure of me holding a hammer. Stick figure of her holding my hand. She'd gotten an A. I folded the paper, put it back in the box. My daughter thought I was a hero. I was about to destroy her world. If you were me, what would you do? Tell your daughter immediately and break her heart? Or wait to build an ironclad case? Type 1 for tell her now, 2 for wait. I'll tell you what I chose in a minute. I chose to wait because I needed to protect her, even if she hated me for it later. The forensic accountant Sarah recommended was named Patricia Morrison, former FBI white-collar crime specialist, now a private consultant. She tore through Parker Construction's finances like a surgeon. 3 days later, she called a meeting, Sarah, Frank, Patricia, and me. Conference room at Sarah's office. Patricia opened her laptop, projected a spreadsheet on the wall. Mr. Parker, your wife has been systematically embezzling from your company for 18 months. The total amount is $473,000. $473,000. The offshore account in the Cayman Islands is the primary repository, Patricia continued. But there's more. She's opened accounts in Panama and Switzerland. Total assets in those accounts, approximately $620,000. Where did the extra money come from? I asked. Your personal accounts. She's been moving money gradually, small amounts, nothing that would trigger alerts. Patricia clicked to the next slide. She's also taken out a line of credit against your house, $200,000. She what? Forged your signature. It's a good forgery, but it's a forgery. Sarah leaned forward. That's another felony. Patricia kept going. There's one more thing. 3 months ago, an LLC was formed in Tennessee. Thompson Parker Enterprises. Thompson Parker, Ryan's last name, Rebecca's last name. Who owns it? I asked, though I already knew. 50-50 split, Rebecca Parker and Ryan Thompson. Patricia pulled up the business filing. Listed business purpose, general construction, and project management services. They're starting a competing company, Frank said. Yes. And based on the business plan I found in the cloud documents, Patricia clicked again. They're planning to take your clients, your employees, your reputation. The plan explicitly states that after Ryan Thompson marries Olivia Parker, he'll have legal access to privileged company information through spousal connection and can extract additional intellectual property. The room went silent. My daughter, I said slowly, is collateral. They're using her to steal my company. Yes, Patricia said. I'm sorry, Mr. Parker, but yes. Sarah spoke up. James, we need to involve law enforcement now. This is beyond civil. I need one more thing first. What? Proof that Rebecca planned this from the beginning. Proof that she manipulated Ryan into meeting Olivia. Proof that this entire relationship is a con. How are you going to find that? Good question. The answer came 2 days later. Rebecca went on a girls' trip to Atlanta. 3 days. Left Thursday morning. I had 3 days to search our house. I started with her home office. Went through every file, every drawer, every box. Nothing. Her closet, her dresser, her bathroom cabinet. Nothing. Then I remembered. 6 months ago, Rebecca had rented a storage unit. Said she was clearing out old files from the house. Decluttering, she called it. I found the key in her jewelry box. Small silver key with a red plastic tag. Store safe unit 247. I drove to the facility on the edge of town, used Rebecca's key, opened unit 247, inside boxes, a dozen of them, labeled business files and old tax returns. I opened the first box, tax returns, legitimate. Second box, business correspondence, normal stuff. Third box, bottom left corner, underneath the files, a leather journal, burgundy cover, gold embossed initials, R.P. Rebecca's diary. I sat on the concrete floor of that storage unit, opened the journal. The first entry was dated 20 months ago. Met with David about the plan today. He says it's feasible if we're patient. 18 months, maybe 2 years. But we can do it. James will never see it coming. He trusts me too much. David, not Ryan. Who the hell was David? I kept reading. Entry from 19 months ago. Interviewed Ryan Thompson today for the VP position. He's perfect, young, ambitious, desperate to prove himself, and most importantly, he's willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. I made him an offer, 50-50 split of the new company if he plays his part. He said yes. My hands started shaking. Entry from 18 months ago. Hired Ryan today. James thinks it was the board's decision. I convinced them. Told them Ryan's exactly what we need to modernize. James agreed immediately. Step 1 complete. Now we wait. Entry from 16 months ago. Started sleeping with Ryan. Wasn't part of the original plan, but it makes things easier. He's completely committed now, and honestly, it's nice to feel wanted again. James is so wrapped up in the business, he doesn't even notice when I come home late. Entry from 14 months ago. Introduced Ryan to Olivia at the company barbecue. Made it seem natural. They hit it off immediately. Olivia has her father's trusting nature. This is going to work. I stopped reading, felt bile rise in my throat. She'd orchestrated the entire thing. The hiring, the affair, the meeting, the relationship, all of it. I kept reading. My vision blurred with tears and rage. Entry from 10 months ago. Ryan proposed to Olivia tonight. She called me crying. She's so happy. I told her I'm thrilled. And I am. Thrilled that the plan is working. Once they're married, Ryan gets access to everything. Family meetings, private discussions, financial records. Spousal privilege means he can't be forced to testify against Olivia even if things go south. And best of all, James would never suspect his own daughter's husband. Entry from 8 months ago. The offshore accounts are set up. I've moved $340K so far. James hasn't noticed. The new company is registered. Ryan and I meet at hotels twice a week. We go over the plan. Who will hire first? Which clients will approach? How we'll position ourselves as the new innovative Parker without James's outdated methods. By the time they figure out what happened, we'll be established. Untouchable. Entry from 6 months ago. Olivia signed the paperwork today to become an authorized signer on the company accounts. James insisted, said she's earned the trust. She has no idea what she just gave us access to. After the wedding, she'll be legally bound to Ryan. By the time she realizes what's happened, it'll be too late. She'll be humiliated, devastated, but she'll get over it. Everyone does. Entry from 2 months ago. Sometimes I feel guilty about Olivia. She's a good kid, didn't deserve this, but this is business. And in business, you do what you have to do. James taught me that. He just never expected me to use it against him. The final entry, dated 2 weeks ago. 3 months until the wedding. 3 months until we're free. I've taken everything I can without raising suspicion. The rehearsal dinner is booked. James is paying for everything, of course. He's so proud, so happy, so blind. Rebecca Parker will die at that wedding. Rebecca Thompson will be born. New name, new company, new life. And James will be left with nothing but broken trust and empty accounts. He'll never recover. And honestly, he deserves it. 32 years of him taking all the credit. 32 years of him being the hero while I did all the real work. Not anymore. This is my time. I closed the diary, sat in that storage unit, and I felt something shift inside me. The grief, the betrayal, the devastation. It crystallized into something else. Cold, hard, focused rage. I took the diary, locked the storage unit, drove to Sarah's office, walked in without an appointment. She was with another client. I need you, now. Sarah looked at my face, excused her client. I put the diary on her desk. Read it. She did, all of it. Her expression got darker with each page. When she finished, she looked up. We called the FBI today. No. James, not yet. I have a better idea. What? I smiled. For the first time in weeks. The rehearsal dinner? They want a celebration? I'll give them one they'll never forget. Sarah studied me. What are you planning? Public exposure. Every guest, every business partner, every friend. I want them all to see exactly who Rebecca and Ryan are. That's risky. I don't care. They humiliated my daughter. They tried to destroy my family's legacy. I'm not letting them slink away in handcuffs with no one knowing what they did. You want justice or revenge? Both. Sarah was quiet for a moment, then, we'll need the FBI there for the arrests. Set it up. James, think about Olivia. She's going to be there. She's going to see all of this. I thought about my daughter, her essay, her drawing, her trust. I know, but she needs to see it. She needs to know the truth, all of it. Sarah nodded slowly. Okay, I'll make the calls, but there's one more thing. What? She pulled out another document. This came across my desk this morning. It's a contract. Transferring 50% of Parker Construction shares from you to joint marital property between you and Rebecca. I stared at the document. My signature was at the bottom, except I'd never signed it. She forged it, I said. Yes, and she filed it with the court 3 days ago. If this stands and she files for divorce after the wedding, she gets half the company. Exactly. This is felony fraud, federal offense. I picked up the contract, studied my forged signature. Rebecca had practiced it. Almost perfect, but not quite. She looped the J in James differently than I did. Too wide. How long until this becomes legally binding? She needs your acknowledgement or 30 days to pass without challenge. You have 27 days left. I set down the contract. She's not going to get 27 days. Sarah's voice was ice. What do you want me to do? Contact the FBI. Tell them everything. Get arrest warrants ready. I want them at the rehearsal dinner. I want Rebecca and Ryan in handcuffs in front of everyone. That's aggressive. They tried to steal my company, my legacy, and my daughter's future. This isn't aggressive. This is justice. Sarah picked up her phone. I'll make the calls. I stood to leave. James, I turned back. Your daughter's going to be devastated. I thought about Olivia, her smile, her trust, her perfect family. I know, but better devastated by the truth than destroyed by the lie. I drove home. Rebecca wasn't back from Atlanta yet. The house was empty. I went to Olivia's old room. Hadn't changed much since she moved out. Still had posters on the walls, her high school track medals, her college diploma. On her dresser, a framed photo, the four of us, taken at her college graduation, happy, smiling, a perfect family. I picked it up, looked at Rebecca's smile in the photo. How much of it was ever real? My phone buzzed. Text from Olivia. Hey Dad, can you meet me for lunch tomorrow? Want to show you the final venue photos. Mom's still in Atlanta. Just us? I stared at that heart emoji. In 72 hours, I was going to destroy everything she believed in. But I was also going to save her from a life built on lies. I texted back, Of course, sweetheart, noon? Perfect. Love you, Dad. Love you too. I set down the phone, looked at the family photo one more time. Then I went downstairs, made a list. Everything I needed for the rehearsal dinner, the video compilation, the financial documents, the diary excerpts, the FBI contact. Sarah's voice echoed in my head. You want justice or revenge? Both, I'd said. But sitting in my empty house, I realized it was more than that. I wanted my daughter to be free, even if she hated me for how I did it. The rehearsal dinner was at Spring House Country Club. Rebecca's choice said it was elegant and intimate. 180 guests, every business partner we'd ever worked with, every friend, every family member, the entire company board, our employees, Olivia's college friends, Ryan's colleagues, everyone who mattered. Perfect. The day before the dinner, I met with Special Agent Matthews from the FBI. Sarah arranged it, her office, neutral ground. Agent Matthews was early 50s, gray at the temples, had the look of someone who'd seen every kind of human betrayal and stopped being surprised years ago. I showed him everything. The diary, the financial records, the forged contract, the offshore accounts, the stolen files from Ryan's laptop. He listened, made notes, asked questions. This is solid, he finally said. Embezzlement, wire fraud, forgery, corporate espionage. We can bring charges. Tomorrow night, I said, out at the rehearsal dinner. Agent Matthews looked at Sarah, then back at me. Mr. Parker, we typically don't do arrests at social events. I know. But this isn't about what's typical. This is about my daughter. She needs to see the truth. She needs to see them held accountable in front of everyone. It's going to be traumatic for her. More traumatic than marrying a man who's been using her. More traumatic than finding out years from now that her whole marriage was a lie. Agent Matthews was quiet for a moment. We'll be there, he said. But Mr. Parker, once this goes public, there's no taking it back. Your family's private business becomes public record. Your daughter's humiliation is witnessed by everyone she knows. I understand. Do you? Because I've seen families destroyed by exposure like this. Even the innocent victims never fully recover. I thought about Olivia, her trust, her joy. She's already been destroyed, I said. She just doesn't know it yet. At least this way she finds out before she legally binds herself to a criminal. Agent Matthews nodded. 6 p.m. tomorrow. We'll have agents positioned at the exits. When you're ready, give me the signal. What signal? Something subtle. You'll be giving a speech, correct? Father of the bride's speech. Yes. End with a specific phrase, something you wouldn't normally say. We'll move when we hear it. I thought for a moment. I'll say, the truth will set you free. That works. We'll wait for those words. The night before the rehearsal dinner, I barely slept. Kept running through it in my mind. What I'd say, how I'd say it. What Olivia's face would look like when she realized. Rebecca came home late, smelled like wine and perfume. Big day tomorrow, she said, sliding into bed beside me. Our baby's getting married soon. I didn't respond. She kissed my shoulder. James, you okay? Fine. Just thinking about the speech. You'll do great, you always do. She curled against me. I love you. I stared at the ceiling, said nothing. Within 24 hours, she'd be in handcuffs. The rehearsal dinner started at 6. I arrived early, watched the setup. White tablecloths, flower centerpieces, champagne glasses, a projector screen for the slideshow of memories Rebecca had prepared. I'd prepared a slideshow too. Mine was different. Guests started arriving. Business partners shook my hand. Congratulations, James. Beautiful venue. You must be so proud. I smiled, thanked them, played the part. Frank found me at the bar. You sure about this? No, but I'm doing it anyway. Olivia's going to... I know, Frank, I know. He squeezed my shoulder. I'll be here, whatever you need. Olivia arrived at 6:30. She looked radiant. Navy blue dress, hair in soft curls, her mother's necklace, smiling so wide it must have hurt. She hugged me. Dad, this is perfect. Everything's perfect. I held her tight, maybe too tight. Dad, you okay? Just emotional, I said. My little girl's getting married. She laughed, kissed my cheek. I love you. I love you too, sweetheart. More than you know. Ryan arrived moments later, suit and tie, confident stride. He shook my hand. Big day, Dad. I looked at him, really looked at him, saw exactly what he was, a thief, a liar, a con artist using my daughter. Yes, I said, very big day. Rebecca swept in, red dress, diamond earrings, the picture of elegance. She kissed me. Showtime, honey. Showtime indeed. Dinner was served. Salad, salmon, roasted vegetables, wine flowing, conversations filling the room, laughter, joy. I couldn't eat, just pushed food around my plate. Agent Matthews was in position. 3 other agents scattered throughout the room, dressed like guests, waiting. At 7:30, the speeches began. Ryan's best man went first, told funny stories. The room laughed. Rebecca went next, gave a touching speech about watching Olivia grow up. From my little girl to this beautiful woman, she cried, real tears, Oscar-worthy performance. The room applauded. Then it was my turn. I stood, walked to the microphone at the front of the room, every eye on me. Olivia smiled at me from the head table, trusting, happy. Ryan sat beside her, relaxed, confident, had no idea what was coming. Rebecca stood near the back, wine glass in hand, beaming. I took a breath. Thank you all for being here tonight, I began, my voice steady, practiced. Olivia has always been my greatest joy. From the moment she was born, I knew my job was to protect her, to teach her, to show her what love and trust and family really mean. Nods around the room, smiles. I've tried to build a life for her, a legacy. Parker Construction isn't just a company. It's 3 generations of trust, of integrity, of family. More nods. Someone said, "Hear, hear." My grandfather founded this company on a simple principle, built on integrity. Every project, every relationship, every handshake, that meant something. I paused, looked directly at Rebecca. Trust meant something. Her smile faltered slightly. I continued. So when Olivia told me she was getting married, I was thrilled. I thought, here's a man who will love her, protect her, build a life with her. Ryan straightened in his chair, sensing something. But as father of the bride, I have one job tonight, one responsibility. I looked at Olivia. To make sure my daughter knows the truth, the whole truth. Olivia's smile faded. Dad, Before we toast to new beginnings, there's something you all need to see. I nodded to Frank. He was operating the projector. The lights dimmed, the screen lit up. Security footage appeared, parking lot, timestamp, 2:47 a.m. Rebecca's car, Ryan's car, the two of them getting into the same vehicle. The room went silent. What is this? Ryan stood up. The video continued. Different hotel, different date, same scenario. Another hotel, another date, 3 hotels, 3 timestamps. Undeniable. Olivia's face. I'll never forget it. Confusion, then dawning horror, then devastation. No, she whispered. No. Wait. Ryan started toward the screen. Frank clicked to the next slide. Text messages, blown up, easy to read. Rebecca to Ryan. James is working late. We have time. Rebecca to Ryan. Told him I was meeting Olivia. He believed me. Rebecca to Ryan. Phase 2 in motion. She trusts him completely now. The room erupted. Gasps. Shouts. Someone screamed. Rebecca stood frozen, wine glass trembling in her hand. James, she said. James, this isn't... It's exactly what it looks like. I kept my voice calm, amplified through the microphone. But the affair is just the beginning. Next slide. Bank statements, the offshore accounts. My wife has embezzled $473,000 from our company over 18 months. More gasps. She created fake companies, forged my signature, moved money offshore. Rebecca's face went white as bone. And Ryan, I looked at him. He'd stopped moving. Trapped. You've been stealing our proprietary information, client lists, contracts, trade secrets, all for your new company, Thompson Parker Enterprises, a company you and my wife plan to launch after using my daughter to get access to everything we built. That's a lie, Ryan shouted. Is it? I pulled out my phone, pressed play on an audio file. Rebecca's voice filled the room, crystal clear. The plan is simple. Ryan marries Olivia, gets access to everything. Spousal privilege means she can't testify against him. By the time they figure out what happened, we'll be established. Ryan's voice, what about Olivia? Won't she? Rebecca's voice, casual, dismissive. She'll get over it. Everyone does. Silence, complete suffocating silence. Olivia stood up, swaying. Her face had gone from devastated to something else, empty. She looked at Ryan, then at her mother. Tell me this isn't real, she whispered. Please. Tell me. Rebecca started crying. Honey, I can't explain. You used me. Olivia's voice cracked. You used me as what, an access card? It wasn't like that. Shut up, Olivia screamed. The first time I'd ever heard her scream like that. Raw, feral. Don't you dare talk to me. She turned to Ryan. He reached for her. Liv, please, I do love you. She slapped him hard. The crack echoed through the silent room. You don't even know what love is. Rebecca was moving toward me now, desperate. James, please, we can talk about this. We're done talking. I looked past her, made eye contact with Agent Matthews. I spoke into the microphone, clear, deliberate. The truth will set you free. Agent Matthews moved, 3 other agents with him. Rebecca Parker, Ryan Thompson. He pulled out his badge. FBI, you're under arrest. The room exploded again. People standing, shouting, phones out, recording. Rebecca's wine glass shattered on the floor. No, wait, you can't. You have the right to remain silent? Ryan tried to run, made it 3 steps before 2 agents grabbed him, forced him to his knees. Get off me! Get the fuck off me! They cuffed him. Rough, professional. Rebecca was crying. James, please don't do this. Think about Olivia. I am thinking about Olivia. I stepped down from the microphone, walked right up to her. I'm saving her from you. They cuffed Rebecca. She fought them, screaming, You bastard! You fucking bastard! I gave you 32 years. You gave me nothing but lies. Agent Matthews read them their charges. The room listened in horrified silence. embezzlement, wire fraud, identity theft, forgery, corporate espionage, conspiracy to commit fraud. Each charge hit like a hammer. That moment when she dropped the ring, if you felt that in your chest, type "I felt it." Because some betrayals cut deeper than others. Olivia stood perfectly still, watching them put her fiancé in handcuffs, watching them arrest her mother. Then she moved, walked to Ryan. He was on his knees, agents on either side. She pulled off her engagement ring, looked at it for a long moment, then dropped it at his feet. "I loved you," she said, quiet, shaking. "I would have given you everything. You just had to ask." The ring hit the floor, bounced, rolled. I hope stealing it was worth it. She turned, walked past me, past everyone, out of the room. I started to follow. Frank caught my arm. "Give her a minute." The agents took Rebecca and Ryan away, both still shouting, Rebecca pleading, Ryan threatening lawsuits. The guests stood in stunned silence. Then the whispers started, the phones, the messages flying. I watched it happen, watched Rebecca's reputation die in real time. Sarah appeared at my side. "It's done." "Yeah. The FBI will want a full statement tomorrow." "I'll be there." She touched my arm. "Go find your daughter." I found Olivia in the parking lot, sitting on the curb, mascara running down her face, shaking so hard her teeth chattered. I sat beside her. She didn't look at me. "How long have you known?" Her voice was dead. "A few months." "And you didn't tell me." "I couldn't. Not until I had proof. Not until you could humiliate me in front of everyone I know." I flinched. "Olivia, everyone saw. Everyone knows. My mother, my fiancé, they..." She broke down, sobbing so hard she couldn't breathe. I pulled her close. She fought me for a second, then collapsed against me. "I'm sorry," I whispered. "I'm so sorry, sweetheart." "Did she ever love us?" Olivia gasped between sobs. "Did she ever? Was any of it real?" I thought about 32 years, 3 decades of marriage, building a business, raising a daughter. "I don't know," I admitted. "I don't know, baby." She cried harder. "I wanted her to walk me down the aisle with you," she said. "I wanted both my parents. I wanted..." "You still have one parent." I held her tighter. "You'll always have me." We sat there in that parking lot for an hour, while inside the world tore Rebecca and Ryan apart. The news spread fast. By morning, it was everywhere. Parker Construction CFO arrested for embezzlement. High-profile wedding scandal. Groom arrested at rehearsal dinner. Family business betrayal shocks. Nashville community. The headlines were brutal. So were the consequences. Rebecca's bail was set at $500,000. I didn't pay it. Ryan's bail was $300,000. His parents tried to scrape it together. Couldn't. The company board held an emergency meeting. Unanimous vote. Rebecca removed as CFO, effective immediately. Ryan terminated with cause. Our business partners started calling. Some supportive, some distancing themselves. Nobody wanted to be associated with scandal. But most stayed, because Parker Construction had been built on integrity for 60 years. One thief didn't destroy that. Rebecca's friends, her country club circle, her book club, her charity organizations abandoned her. Within a week, she'd been quietly removed from every membership list. Ryan's career was over. His MBA, his connections, his future, all destroyed. The FBI seized Rebecca's offshore accounts, every dollar, returned to Parker Construction. The district attorney charged Rebecca with 5 felonies. She was facing 5 to 7 years. Ryan got 8 federal charges, looking at 8 to 10 years. Their attorney tried to negotiate, tried to claim duress, coercion, mental instability. Sarah shut it down every time. Your clients documented their plan in writing, bragged about it. There's no defense here. Some people ask if I went too far. If you think justice was served, type deserved. If you think I should have handled it differently, type too much. Be honest, I don't know if I went too far, but I know I protected my daughter from years of lies, and I'd do it again. Olivia didn't speak to me for 2 weeks. I gave her space, let her process, watched from a distance as she packed up her apartment, canceled wedding vendors, returned gifts. Frank kept me updated. She's hurting, James, but she's strong. She'll get through this. On the 15th day, Olivia showed up at my office. She looked different, thinner, dark circles under her eyes, but standing straighter, harder. I need to ask you something, she said. Anything. Why didn't you tell me? When you first found out about the affair, before you knew about the rest. Why didn't you just tell me? I set down my pen. Because I needed to protect you. By humiliating me? By making sure you couldn't be manipulated anymore. If I'd told you about the affair, Rebecca would have convinced you I was lying. Ryan would have gaslit you. They would have isolated you and married you anyway. I needed ironclad proof. She was quiet. I needed you to see exactly what they were, not what they pretended to be. Olivia's eyes filled with tears. I feel so stupid. You're not stupid. You trusted people you should have been able to trust. That's not stupidity. That's humanity. Everyone knows. Everyone saw that you're a victim, not a fool. There's a difference. She sat down, pulled something from her purse, my old wallet photo, the crayon drawing, my perfect family. I found this in your office, she said. You kept it. Always. She stared at it. It was never perfect, was it? No, but part of it was real. I moved around the desk, sat beside her. You and me, that was always real. She leaned her head on my shoulder, like when she was little. I don't know how to trust anyone anymore, she whispered. I know, but you'll learn again. Not today. Maybe not this year, but eventually. What if I can't? Then you start small. You trust the people who've earned it. Frank, Sarah, me, build from there. She was quiet for a long time. Then I want to work, really work. Throw myself into the company, can I? Of course. And I want to move back home. For a while, just until... Your room's exactly how you left it. She smiled, small, broken, but real. Okay. 6 months later, the morning sun hit the construction site just right. Golden, warm, early September, Parker Community Center, our newest project. A 20,000 square foot facility for at-risk youth. Recreation center, tutoring rooms, job training space, funded by the money we recovered from Rebecca's theft. Seemed fitting. Olivia stood beside me at the foundation. She wore work boots, jeans, and a Parker construction hard hat, her hair pulled back, no makeup. She looked tired, but steady. You ready? I asked. She nodded. We'd invited the crew, the board, a few select press members, not a spectacle, just a quiet ceremony. Frank brought out the cornerstone, custom granite, engraved. Parker Community Center, founded 2024, built by James and Olivia Parker. My name, her name, side by side. It's perfect, Olivia said. We used the crane to lower it into place. The crew cheered. After the ceremony, most people left. Olivia and I stayed. How's therapy? I asked. Hard, but good. She'd been seeing a counselor twice a week, working through the betrayal, the trust issues, the anger. Have you talked to her? She knew I meant Rebecca. No, she writes letters. I don't read them. That's your choice. Always will be. Olivia touched the cornerstone, traced her name with her finger. I found something last week, she said, in my old stuff, that essay I wrote in 5th grade about heroes. I remember. I read it. I wrote about how you build things that last, things that help people. She looked at me. You were right. This is what lasts. Not lies, not stolen money. This. She gestured at the construction around us. Legacy isn't about blood, she said. It's about what you build, who you protect, what you stand for. I felt my throat tighten. Your grandfather would be proud of you, I said. I hope so. We stood there, father and daughter, on the foundation of something new. Frank walked over. Got a surprise for you, boss. What? He handed me a plaque, brass, just like my grandfather's. Thought you might want to update the office. I read the engraving. Parker Construction Co., founded 1964, built by Parkers, brick by brick. Blood doesn't make family, loyalty does. Olivia's idea. She'd commissioned it weeks ago. You like it? She asked. I couldn't speak, just pulled her into a hug. I love it. 3 weeks ago, Rebecca's trial ended. She pleaded guilty, got 6 years, eligible for parole in 4. Ryan went to trial. Jury found him guilty on all 8 counts. 10 years, no parole eligibility for 7. I didn't attend either sentencing. Olivia did. She told me later. Rebecca cried, apologized, begged for forgiveness. Ryan blamed everyone but himself. What did you say to her? I asked. To Rebecca? Nothing. I just looked at her. That was enough. And she finally understood. She didn't just lose you. She didn't just lose the company. She lost me forever. Olivia pulled the old family photo from her bag, the one from her graduation. 4 people, perfect smiles. She'd torn it, carefully, removed Rebecca and Ryan, kept the piece with just her and me. Found family, she said. That's what matters. Family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's the people who stay when everything falls apart. If you've found family outside biology, or if you've had to rebuild after betrayal, share your story in the comments. I'll read them all. We're not alone in this. Present day. I'm in my office now. The new plaque hangs where my grandfather's used to hang. Built by Parkers, brick by brick. Olivia's in the conference room, leading a meeting. She's VP of operations now. Frank's choice, board's choice, my choice. She's tough, fair, brilliant, and she trusts carefully now. But when she trusts completely. That's not broken, that's evolved. The company's stronger than ever. Our reputation survived, grew even. People respect a family that fights for integrity. I still think about that night sometimes, the rehearsal dinner, the video, the arrests, Olivia's face. Some people say I was cruel, that I could have handled it privately. Maybe they're right. But I think about the alternative. Olivia married to Ryan, years of manipulation, decades of lies, maybe kids caught in the middle. No, I saved her, even if the saving hurt. Rebecca writes to me sometimes from prison. I don't read the letters. Ryan sends threats, legal action, defamation claims. His lawyers laugh at him. There's no defamation in truth. This morning, I touched the brass plaque, new ritual. Built by Parkers, brick by brick. I thought about my grandfather, breaking ground with nothing but a handshake. I thought about my father, building something lasting. I thought about Olivia, my daughter, my legacy, the 4th generation. And I smiled. Because some things you inherit, your name, your blood, your circumstances, but the things that matter, those you build yourself. One choice at a time, one brick at a time, one truth at a time. Blood doesn't make family, loyalty does. And we built this brick by brick on something that can't be stolen, forged, or destroyed. We built it on trust, the real kind.